Then he drove it home. He says, the rulers of this world, in their desire to be leaders, love to lord it over people and use them as benefactors to rule over them and lord over them. In other words, they like to control people. The word Lord means owner. They like to believe they own people. He said, this is not leadership. Next verse. But whosoever wants to be great, whoever wants to be great. I thought it was interesting, and in my book entitled In Charge, you should read that book carefully, please. Some of you all haven't read it before. It's probably the most important book I've ever written on understanding leadership. That book is about leadership, In Charge. I took this entire chapter and wrote a whole book on it, which you've never read, of course. Because that book deals with every aspect of this leadership class Jesus had. And this point he makes about, he says, whoever wants to be great. He used the term whosoever. What he does is he opens the leadership potential to whosoever. Now here's what's interesting about this. He did not rebuke them for desiring to be great. He actually did the opposite. He told them how to achieve it. Did you ever notice that? See, he knows what you want, but he's saying don't do it the way of the system. You don't become great by oppressing people, degrading people, devaluing people, lording over people, he says, and using people to benefit yourself. He said you could become great. Whoever wants to be great, he says, here's how to do it. He's telling us how to become a leader. He says, here's how to become a leader. You must become the servant of all men. Now that was a contradiction to the Roman and Greek philosophy, because their philosophy was they are leaders because people serve them. He said, in my country, heaven, you are a leader because of the amount of people you serve. It's completely reversed. In other words, in the kingdom of God, leadership is not measured by how many people serve you, but by how many people you serve. And the more people you serve, the greater you are, he says. But he doesn't mean for you to become a slave to people or to become subservient to humanity like a doormat. The term he uses is this word doulos, servant. It's a word that means I distribute myself to humanity. I serve my gift to the world. That's leadership. You become great when you find the gift that you have, born with, inherent in your life, and you decide to serve it to humanity. This is where leadership is born. And that gift, we're going to talk about that a little later on in the series, but that gift is very, very, it's kind of complex, because it is a fruit, it is a passion, it is a hunger, it is an anger. It's a lot of things in this gift. And it's that very gift that separates you from other people. It is that gift that makes you irritable to the world. It is that very gift, that passion, that anger, that desire to do something for humanity that makes you different from everyone. This is why leaders become self-motivated. They become self-driven. And they are driven not to hurt humanity, but to help humanity. We look at some of the people who claim to be leaders in the world today, especially those who have this attitude that they can kill people to achieve something. We hear of these terroristic acts of people. These are not leaders. These, in my humble view, are people who have no idea about human value. They themselves have no value in themselves. That's why they self-destruct. True leadership protects human value, not destroy it. It serves